My name is Mark Sustick. I'm the director of the festival this year, have been for the last 18 years. We started in Vergennes at the Opera House in 2005. And I have a few more things to tell you about. We're going to start right off with some music. We have the great pleasure of having musical hosts this year from New Brunswick, the folks that you see before you now, La Famille LeBlanc. They're a celebrated group that has played really in various corners of the world. They go to France regularly, and they've been in Louisiana, etc. And they perform 19th century tunes deeply rooted in Celtic and Acadian traditions, mostly unknown to other Celtic nations such as Ireland, Brittany, and Scotland, with their three daughters in the center here of the five. They play concertina, whistle, and fiddle. They play some of the oldest Acadian songs and ballads accompanied by Baroque, jazz, and traditional arrangements on the piano. So would you please welcome La Famille LeBlanc.
Okay, all right. So this is our fourth time playing here, and just before the show we decided to turn it all over because we played all the same tunes for 3 concerts. So we decided to play different tunes. What you just heard here was a piece from 1660-something, the first one. It's the only tune that we play that's written down. All the other stuff is just oral tradition. It's just learning from each other, looking at each other, looking at how we do it. But that's the only piece that's written down. So, does anybody here speak French? Okay, so two people. All right. Let's try something. I'm going to say something, and just try your best to do the same. All right? Guélon la brunette, guélon la brunette, de guélon la gaiement. From the beginning. Guélon la brunette, guélon la gaiement. Guélon la brunette, guélon la gaiement. And you're good to go. All right, let's try this. Guélon la brunette, guélon la gaiement. All right, you can sing with us. Try to sing with us. Yeah. This is a song, if you want to see the transcription of this song, it's a really strange song about a boat with animals that are driving it. The cook is a cow, and the cow is 30 years old. And anyway, it's a very interesting song. I don't know where it comes from or who composed it, but it's an old traditional Acadian song. Probably came from France. And on the Bandcamp link here, you can find the transcription in English. I did my best, because it's really hard to transcribe old French songs. Sometimes the words are kind of hard to find. So here we go. It's called Sauniéville.
Gens de Sauniéville qui fait faire un bâtiment, qui ont fait faire un bâtiment, c'est pour naviguer dedans. Guélon la brunette, guélon la gaiement, guélon la brunette, guélon la gaiement. La charpente du bâtiment, c'est une boîte de fer blanc. Gouvernail du bâtiment, c'est la queue d'un cheval blanc. Guélon la brunette, guélon la gaiement, guélon la brunette, guélon la gaiement. C'est la trompe d'un éléphant. Les 3 mâts du bâtiment sont des cotons d'Arbre Saint-Jean. Guélon la brunette, guélon la gaiement, guélon la brunette, guélon la gaiement. Les 3 voiles du bâtiment sont des peaux de vieilles juments. Pavillon du bâtiment, c'est la chemise d'un gros marchand. Guélon la brunette, guélon la gaiement, guélon la brunette, guélon la gaiement. Sont des genoux de vieux moutons. Les cordages du bâtiment sont des tripes de gros harengs. Guélon la brunette, guélon la gaiement, guélon la brunette, guélon la gaiement. Capitaine du bâtiment, c'est un bœuf au front tout blanc. Cuisinier du bâtiment, c'est une vache de 30 ans. Guélon la brunette, guélon la gaiement, guélon la brunette, guélon la gaiement. L'équipage du bâtiment sont des jeunes veaux du printemps, et tous ceux qui vont tout le temps sont tous de vrais innocents. L'équipage du bâtiment sont de jeunes veaux du printemps, et tous ceux qui vont dedans sont tous de vrais innocents. Guélon la brunette, guélon la
So I'm not too sure what Guélon la means, but I think it means something happy. All right. So, Suite des Îles? No. The next tune we want to play is, oh yes, the Miramichi Fire. So we are from New Brunswick, and in New Brunswick we had the biggest fire that Canada has known in the 1800s. It used to be called the Miramichi Fires because there was fires that kind of spread out all over the province. But 2 or 3 years ago, out west, there was a bigger fire. So now it's the second biggest fire. But it used to be the biggest one in Canada. So that's back in the 1800s when there was lots of fiddling going around. And this is probably a tune that was played in that period of time. It's called the Miramichi Fire Set. So we've put 4 tunes together. The last one is the Miramichi Fire Reel. The first one, it's a tune called Gustav McLaughlin. He's the fiddler. Acadian music, we don't have the names of the tunes. Very often we'll just name the tune by the name of the fiddler. And often he plays like 4 or 5 tunes, so it's like McLaughlin 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's kind of sad, right? We name the tunes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but that's all we have left. We don't have names, real names to these tunes. So the first one is McLaughlin. The second one is a tune by Joe Crapeau. And then it's a mouth tune, like this, right? Played on the fiddle, but from Quebec. And then it's a tune called Reel de la Discorde, from where we're from. And then, is that 5 or 4? That's 5. So I guess it's a set of 5 tunes. Let's go. Ready? Okay, all right. This is our last set of the festival. Thank you so much, Mark Sustick, for inviting us. Ian, thank you so much for being there for us. We had so much fun with you guys. On the sound in the back, Oliver, thanks. Hope you'll be there for jamming tonight after the show. And also, Julia. Is Julia here? Yes, Julia. Thank you so much for being there. So thanks to all the festival, les bénévoles, the volunteers. Thanks for being here, and have a good evening. Good stuff coming up until 8 o'clock, I think, right? So we'll stick around. Okay.
La Famille LeBlanc. All right, we're going to take a few minutes to rearrange the furniture up here, and I'm just going to, my job here is to talk while that's going on. So once again, thanks for being here. If Mary, Wesley, if you're out there, why don't you come on up? Yeah, okay, great. And so this is the showcase concert. This is one of many things that we've done this week for 4 days. On Thursday, they did the Famille LeBlanc as the musical hosts for the festival this year, did a school program. We also did a program at the Converse home just down the street. And and then had a concert here with the Young Tradition Youth Commission, and then we did more school program on Friday, and another concert here, and I neglected to mention there's a session after each night from 9 to no later than 11 over at the Flynn, and that will happen tonight. It'll be the last night of the festival where we'll have the open session. This is a showcase. This concert is designed as a showcase. It's been a really heart of the festival for many years. It's the place where young people with their teachers, their mentor, their parent, and performing together with them. So just kind of to illustrate some of the things that they do together, and just kind of brings that whole vibe alive here for all of you to watch and see. It's an amazing collection of teachers and parents. You just saw a family from New Brunswick. If you don't have to scratch very deeply to find these kinds of things happening in many places. We have one of the programs Young Tradition Vermont has is a touring group, and the reason for that is to just illustrate. One of the reasons for that is to illustrate how this is really a worldwide phenomenon, that folks are doing this all over the world, learning their own home traditions from their families, and in many cases, folks adopt a tradition. It's something they don't come from, but they decide that this really stirs their heart and is something they want to spend their time doing. So that's what this concert is about, to really show those things at play. The opportunity has really grown. I mean, the opportunity to perform has grown to such an extent that we'll have to figure out where to go with this next. We send an invitation out in January usually, and sometimes as late as February. And this year, like within 2 weeks, the whole program was full. And that's a problem from my perspective, because you want to make sure everyone has an opportunity who chooses to step forward and do it. So you have to figure out how to balance the interest and the desire with the response. So thanks to everybody who did respond to the invitation, and I'm looking around because, as I said, my job here is just to yap until everything is ready. So we want to make sure that folks all have a chance to do it if they want to. And to encourage folks to do it. The whole idea of Young Tradition has been to ensure that there are opportunities to be inspired by the music and the dance that come from previous generations. Also to have a chance to learn about it, so there's learning opportunities, have a chance to perform it, thus events like this. And also use what they can do to serve the community in many different ways. So the reason that we did schools this year, that we've done schools every year, and went to a senior living situation, we typically would go to the hospital. That wasn't possible in the last few years because of various viruses that are going around. But the idea is to get back to that and make sure that folks have the opportunity to see and hear and be inspired by young people getting involved. Many of the Young Tradition touring group, which were featured last night and we'll see later for a brief period of time at the end of this program, got introduced to the program through coming to this concert. There are folks here that might be interested in it and having their child, or if you're a young person, maybe it's something you'd be interested in being part of. So we're very close to getting rolling here. I'm going to turn this over to Mary Wesley, who's staff at Vermont Folklife, and she's going to tell you about our next performers.
Thanks, Mark. And I was thrilled when Mark asked me to be the co-MC here, because Mark, whether he knows it or not, is a huge mentor of mine. Yeah, I have so many fond memories being on this stage and being in this role of emceeing the showcase. I have been involved with YTV for a long time, and couldn't be more thrilled to have YTV coming on board with us at Vermont Folklife. Our wonderful first act this evening, Isabella Rotler on the right. If you have been here earlier in the weekend and seen the YTV touring group up here, you've seen Isabella. She just got back, and she's been part of many YTV programs over the years, Trad Camp, Fiddleheads, and she's up here with Michel Chouanière. Michel is award-winning Smithsonian Folkways recording artist and Franco-American singer and performer, and also happens to be Isabella's mom. And they are from a Franco-American family from right here in Vermont, still live here in Vermont, and we're thrilled to be hearing from them tonight. Welcome, Michelle and Isabella.
Bonsoir tout le monde, comment ça va? C'est très bien. Okay, I'm so happy to be here with Isabella, and thank you so much for inviting us to perform. I'm going to share with you a song that I learned from my mother, that she learned from her parents up in Saint-Rémy, Quebec. I grew up speaking French in Vermont, and both my parents are from Quebec. And so this one is entitled Par un samedi matin. And it's a song that you usually sing at the wedding reception. In fact, my mother sang it at our wedding, my husband and I. And it's a song about the groom who takes his bride to the church and then to the reception and to the dance. And then it goes on and on and on, you know, to the honeymoon and all that. But we edited the song, we keep it simple. We're just going to go up to the dance. So, par un samedi matin. Par un samedi matin, Lucille se marie. Par un samedi matin, Lucille se marie. Elle prend un homme âgé de 29 ans, la petite Lucille. Comme elle a le cœur content, elle prend un homme âgé de 29 ans, la petite Lucille. Comme elle a le cœur content, il la prend par la main, la conduit à l'église. Il la prend par la main, la conduit à l'église. Marche ma belle Lucille, fais bien tu t'es pas ma petite Lucille. On marchera très longtemps. Marche ma belle Lucille, fais bien tu t'es pas ma petite Lucille. On marchera très longtemps. Il la prend par la main, la conduit à la danse. Il la prend par la main, la conduit à la danse. Danse ma belle Lucille, fais bien tu t'es pas ma petite Lucille. On dansera très longtemps. Danse ma belle Lucille, fais bien tu t'es pas ma petite Lucille. On dansera très longtemps. Excusez-la.
So the next set of tunes that we're going to play is a set of 3 reels. The first 2 were played by Franco-American fiddler Louis Baudouin, who was from Burlington, I think. They're called Gaspé Reel and Eddie's Reel. And the second tune is Tout d'un coup, tu maries ma fille, which is a tune my grandpa used to play on harmonica that he learned from his father who played fiddle. Ready?
All right, nice job, Isabella and Michelle. Next up, we have Brian Perkins and his Sarangi Club. What to say about Brian Perkins? There's so very much. Brian Perkins lives here in Burlington. He's a music teacher and neighborhood hero, I would say. There he is. Hey, Brian. Brian has also been super involved both with Young Tradition Vermont and Vermont Folklife over the years. And this particular project that you're about to see is just really remarkable. So Brian has been teaching music to students in their homes privately and also in schools around Vermont for many years. A couple of years ago, he connected with us at Vermont Folklife through our Traditional Arts Apprenticeship Program, which is a program we've been running for about 30 years. It's also a program in which we've been collaborating with Mark and Young Tradition Vermont for many years. And Brian's goal was to bring or help support more people playing the sarangi in Vermont. The sarangi is a instrument that's traditional to Nepal, and in Vermont, the resettled Bhutanese Nepali community is one of the largest resettled communities that we have here in the state, and Brian felt like, or many of us felt like, we should be supporting that music and the instruments connected to that culture, and join them with the other traditional music and instruments that we see all the time around the state. So Brian started learning how to play the sarangi with master artist Sam Nepali, who lives in New Hampshire. And then Brian has since been connecting with students and families to make this happen. And for the past year, this wonderful group of students, with support from teacher Mega here as well, has been meeting after school 3 days a week to learn the sarangi. And we also were able to support purchasing these sarangis and getting them here to Vermont, which was, it took a lot to get. How many did we get this last round, Brian?
14, adding to the 10 that we had originally.
Great, so we have 24 total that are available for students to be learning. And you can see the big job it is to keep them all in tune. So I'll let Brian and Mega tell you more about the program, but we're so thrilled to welcome Sarangi Club to Young Tradition Festival this year.
I'm going to say a few words, and then we'll do the sargam. And then I'll cross one. So the folkloric traditions of New England are an accumulation of traditions that were brought here or were developed here, but it's constantly being added to. And the tradition expressed through the Young Traditions program and through the Champlain Valley Festival, which preceded it, were largely fiddle-based. A lot of fiddle players. We were down in the green room, and did you guys see a lot of fiddle players? Mm-hmm. Okay, so this is the Nepali traditional folkloric fiddle. And so, obviously, a wonderful addition to the New England fiddling tradition. And so, I'm really pleased to have the support of Mega Adhikari, my co-teacher, and Vermont Folklife, and some really inspired students and teachers and parents who made this possible. So we're going to do a presentation of what we've learned so far, and we're going to start by singing the sargam, which is how we tune our voices, our minds, and then we'll be able to play our instruments. So please join Mr. Mega in singing the Sargam. Well, Riley thought it was important to tell you that our class, our way of getting our focus is to sing sa-re-ga-ma-pa, and you respond with pa-ma-ga-re-sa. So, shall we try it again, Riley? Sa-re-ga-ma-pa,
Pa-ma-ga-re-sa,
that's your part. Sa-re-ga-ma-pa.
pa-ma-ga-re-sa.
Okay, here's a song, a tune for bowing. That song. Ek, dui, teen, char. Ek, dui, teen, char. Ek, dui, teen, char. Anybody want to pluck their hair? Okay. So, Max, did you want a hot cross bun or you want to? Okay. Hot cross buns. So. Okay. Ek, dui, teen, char. Sa-re-ga-ma-pa.
Pa-ma-ga-re-sa,
Okay. Or did you get your part? Shall we try it again? Sa-re-ga-ma-pa.
pa-ma-ga-re-sa.
Riley, would you like to play hot cross or sorry, boil them cabbage down? Ek, dui, teen, char. Sa-re-ga-ma-pa.
Pamagaresa.
We'd like to play a tune that's actually very popular in our neighborhood, Kanchi Matiang Tang. Ek, dwi, teen, char.
Chapleti dunga. Kanchi matiang Italo. Bisone. Kanchi matiang Italo. Bisone. Kanchi matiang
Sa-re-ga-ma-pa.
Pamagaresa.
Now, without doubt, the most popular song on the sarangi is Resem Piriri. So we'd like to invite Prakand to play the verse, and then we will all join in playing the verse and the chorus of this extremely popular song. So, Prakand, would you play for us? Ek, dwi, teen, char. Ek name bandu,
Kuinale bang. Nirgalai take ko. Nirgalai maile take ko. Vayalai take ko. Resam piriri. Resam piriri. Unera jao ki dada mama jao. Resam piriri.
So I'd like to thank my very hardworking students, and I welcome them into the community of New England fiddlers.
All right. Nice job, Sarangi Club. Thank you, Mr. Brian and Mr. Mega. Yeah. And thank you to our wonderful sound and stage crew here, making all these exciting transitions up here. This is where it's really happens. And as I'm sure Mark has already said, the other magical part of the Young Tradition weekend and showcases is actually what's happening downstairs in the green room, which is all of these students as they come and go. They get to see each other, they get to hear each other, they get to chat about what they're playing and what they're learning. There's really a whole ecosystem that is created at this weekend, and it's really special. I'm thrilled to have on stage next Gopal and Isika Nirula. Here. Hi, guys. And Gopal and Isika have also been wonderful participants in the Traditional Arts Apprenticeship Program. That program, or an apprenticeship, might sound like kind of an old-fashioned word, but what it is to us is kind of a one-on-one, face-to-face learning opportunity, which Gopal and Isika have a great opportunity to learn together because they are father and daughter, they live together, and they have, I think they're in their 3rd year of being part of the apprenticeship program. Gopal has been a musician his whole life and has been working with both of his daughters to pass on the musical traditions of Nepal in their household and out in the community. So we're so thrilled to have them there. What are you guys going to play today?
We're going to be playing like this Nepali bhajan, and it defines God, and it gives you peace. So we're going to be playing that today.
Wonderful. Did everyone hear that? Yeah, great. Okay, so Gopal and Isika, you about ready?
Yeah.
Wonderful. Take it away.
Namaste everybody, my name is Isika Narola and I'm in 7th grade, and I'm really happy to be on this stage, and thank you all for coming here. जसकी पार्वती पिता महादेव जय गणेश देवा माता जसकी पार्वती पिता महादेव एक दंत दयावंत 4 भुजधारी एक दंत दयावंत 4 भुजधारी शिरभरी सिंदूर पोतने मूसों सवारी देवा माता जसकी पार्वती पिता महादेव अंधालाई आँखा दिने गोडीलाई काया अंधालाई आँखा दिने गोडीलाई काया बाजेलाई पुत्र दिने निर्धनलाई माया बाजेलाई पुत्र दिने निर्धनलाई माया जय गणेश देवा माता जसकी पार्वती पिता महादेव लड्डू को त भोग लगाई संता गर्छन् सेवा लड्डू को त भोग लगाई संता गर्छन् सेवा हार चढाई फल चढाई अनि चढाई मेवा हार चढाई फल चढाई अनि चढाई मेवा जय गणेश देवा माता जसकी पार्वती पिता महादेव दुखीलाई सुख दिने शम्भुका हो छोरा दुखीलाई सुख दिने शम्भुका हो छोरा इच्छा पुरा गरिदिन्छौ जो छन् मनका कुरा इच्छा पुरा गरिदिन्छौ जो छन् मनका कुरा जय गणेश देव माता जसकी पार्वती पिता महादेव Thank you, everybody.
Hello. I'd like to request my friend Meg Adhikari to help for tabla. Hello, everybody. It's me, Gopal. Let me introduce myself first. I was born in Bhutan. It is one of the smallest Asian country. In 1990s, because of the cruel government, myself and my entire parents, including 90,000 Bhutanese Nepali people, had to leave our country because of the cruel government. We went to Nepal and stayed for like 22 years as a refugee. In 2014, I came to United States with my family Now, I can proudly say that I am the citizen of the great nation, the United States. Now, today, I'd like to play flute with my nose and then mouth, but not at the same time. So, first of all, I'd like to play from my nose. It's going to be very short because it's very difficult to breathe. But I'm going to try it, and my friend Meg Adhikari is going to help for tabla. We are from the same community. Thank you. Thank you. Everybody clap, please. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. So let me just play, let me try one English song. It's not going to be perfect, but let me try. I think you can guess that song. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Gopal, Ishika, and Maga. All right, so we have the first group of fiddleheads up next, and after that we need to have, let's see, where are we? Yazi would be up next, so just a heads up who's coming up next. Tonight is the night that we do the raffle for the touring group rocking chair. Those who have already bought tickets probably don't want me to mention that you can still buy tickets, but because your odds go down that way. But there are still a few tickets available, and if you want to, you can just. Well, I moved the bucket because it was in the way of the photographer. But if you want some, just let me know, and I'll get you some tickets. And we'll do that just before the touring group performs, around 8:30. Thanks to Oliver, who's up here moving the microphones around. There's plenty of that going on tonight, and it's not the easiest thing to do. Just have one group up here and do the whole thing. So thanks, Oliver. This is the event is being live streamed, so there are people like you are here. There are other folks watching it from other places, from their homes, and the recording will be available at some point on the Vermont Folklife website. And if you want to go back, and even if you're here now, you can go back and take a look at it. So this group of fiddleheads, this is Sarah Hotchkiss, your far left. She is, yay, Sarah. That's an indication of the reach and width of Sarah's influence. She has been a feeder system for the trad, particularly the fiddle and old time and Vermont composers and traditional players for a long time, teaching at trad camp for Young Tradition Vermont, and she has always had plenty of private students and coaches this group. I think you'll have to tell us more about how often you meet, but you meet at Vermont Violins in South Burlington, and you've been doing it for a number of years. So an appreciation for all you do, Sarah. Thank you. Her organization is called Woodbury Strings. There are several pieces of that. Fiddleheads is one piece. And we had a conversation a few months ago, or maybe a year ago, that why don't we just call what you do Fiddleheads anyway, just as a reference, because what you do is you create opportunities for young people to be part of Fiddleheads. So would you please welcome Sarah Hotchkiss and Fiddleheads.
Thank you. We're going to play all tunes by Vermont composers, Vermont fiddle composers. The first set, after the first set, I'll introduce everybody. The first set is by Becky Tracy and Keith Murphy of Black Isle Music, who are, many of you probably already know, they're prominent folk musicians in the Brattleboro area. And the first tune by Becky is called Caps in the Air, which she wrote for the graduating class of 2020. And the second tune by Keith Murphy is called Rain of Love, which he wrote for a wedding, and it actually rained, so it gave new meaning to the word rain. So without further ado, 1, 2, 3, oh wait, hold on. Shoulder rest technique, hang on. All set? 1, 2, 3, 4. Thank you. So opposite me, we have Viva and Viola and Henry and Molly and Lily and Kate. And we actually, in keeping with the family theme, Viola's older siblings, Lily and Kate, came to us this week and volunteered to give us a great backup. So we're really thrilled to have them too. So thank you very much, everybody. So the next, we're just doing 2 sets. This second set, the first tune is called Squeaking Chair Jig, I got that right, by one of Vermont's finest and most beloved fiddlers, late fiddlers, Ron West, who lived in Richford, Vermont, and who was, had youths playing in the Young Tradition Vermont as well back in the day. And then we will follow that with a tune by Susanna Blatchley, who's a singer-songwriter who lives in Marshfield, who wrote a tune called Angela's Hill. And Angela Gibbons was the founder of Earthwalk, which some of you may be familiar with, and who was Susanna's friend and neighbor. So these are all favorite tunes. We learned a lot of tunes by Vermonters and New Englanders over the course of the school year, but we decided to share with you these 4 favorites. And the first tune, Squeaking Chair Jig by Ron West, is our present to Mark Sustick. So. 1, 2, 1.
All right, Sarah Hotchkiss and Fiddleheads, Chapter 1. We'll All right, some more, another couple of fiddlers, a teacher and a student. And this is particularly fun for me because it doesn't seem that long ago that Yazi was here with her mentors, playing with them, with Benedict Kohler and Hilary Farrington and her siblings. And now she's here as a teacher with one of her students. So we're really excited. I mean, it just sort of puts it all into focus for me about how this works and how one generation passes it on to the next. So it's really fantastic. We've got Yazi Zeichner and Cora. Cora, last name? Yeah. Marin? Yeah, great. Welcome. How about I give them a hand of welcome? I should also mention that Yazi, in addition to progressing through the being a student and then being a teacher and doing a lot of that now, she used to be the president of the Young Tradition Vermont Board of Directors. So thanks for that, Yazi. And among other things, I think you did lots of things, but she was the president of the board. All right, here they are.
I'm Cora. I'm 9 years old, and I started learning fiddle last year, I think.
And we're going to play a couple of things for you. We're going to play Boil 'em Cabbage Down, and then we're going to play. Cora asked me on one of our first fiddle lessons if I knew any dance steps, and I had to admit to knowing some dance steps, and she wanted to learn one, so I taught her a jig step, and so we're going to play a little jig and dance a little step as well. Here we come with our jig.
All right. Next up, another fiddle duo. We have Fiona Stoll and Molly Carpenter. You've probably seen Fiona a little bit this weekend. She is also newly returned from the YTV touring group trip to Cape Breton, and she is also this year's YTV Youth Commission artist. So she's had a very busy year, but is still finding time to keep up with her neighbor Molly and play some tunes. Fiona and Molly, glad you're here.
Play a set of old-time tunes that I learned from my first teacher, Sarah Hotchkiss. I was one of her little sprouts, and it's definitely coming full circle. We're gonna play Sandy Boys and Spotted Pony.
Oh, great. There you are. I was out there looking for Joanne, and she was up here all the time. So thanks again. I hear somebody has some raffle ticket stubs you want to give to me. You should do that. And if anybody else wants to buy raffle tickets, let me know. we can make that arrangement. So next up is Joanne Garton. She's a teacher and a musician and a dancer and all sorts of things. I'm actually remembering this event a number of years ago when somebody in your group was riding on your back and you were playing, and that was a lot of fun. I don't want to embarrass anyone. And anyway, so Joanne is such a treasure of all the teaching that she does. She's such a great musician and teacher and dancer. Really lucky to have her here in Vermont, working with young people and working at camps and that sort of thing. She does a fair amount of organizing as well. So what's really great about this configuration is we have a teacher, we have parents, we have children, we have students. They're all mixed up here, all together, and it's really terrific. So would you please welcome Joanne Garton and her group.
For having us again. I'm Joanne Garton, and our group today is made of Lacey, Reuben, and Shalene Bennett, so parents, child, and Lacey is also my fiddle student. And on piano we have Liam Moore, who is my son. And we were kind of trying to remember the other day how we all knew each other and when it all started. It was definitely before these two were born, so it's a delight to be up here to play for you. We have 3 quick sets for you. The first is a tune called Frank's Reel by John McCusker, and followed by a traditional old-time Cluck Old Hen.
guess I have to talk now. So the last set that we'll do is a pair of bourrées that we all learned together in a workshop with Nicholas Williams about a month or so ago down in Montpelier when he and his very awesome group of folks came down and stayed in central Vermont for a weekend, and we all had a blast together. And I'm blanking on the names of the tunes. One is Bourrée de Broto Lopez, and the other one is Toby.
Nicholas is here. Thanks, Nicholas.
Thanks, Joanne and co. Great. Can you imagine? Can you believe the talent in this room tonight? Aren't we lucky? And next up, we're going to have a little bit of a stage change here. Thank you, Oliver. Because Migmar Sering is coming up with 10 of his Dranyan students. Migmar is a wonderful musician, teacher, friend. He throws great parties. We're so lucky that he's in the Young Tradition Vermont community and the Vermont community overall. And Migmar is here with his students from Famille LeBlanc, which is a performing music class and school that Migmar started in 2016 to continue teaching traditional Tibetan music and dance to young people in the community. So here they are, and you've been hearing a lot about the Traditional Arts Apprenticeship Program this evening, and that's because it has such a strong connection with the mission of Young Tradition Vermont. And so this has always been a space where we at Vermont Folklife have been really thrilled to collaborate to create these opportunities for young people to get on stage and share what they've been learning, and especially to perform and present with their mentors and teachers. So Migmar, welcome. Okay.
Ready? Yeah. Okay. Touch the leg. Just want to make sure there are people down there. Touch the leg. My name is Migmar Sering, and I came to Burlington, Vermont in 2011. Before that, in the year 1985, I was separated from my own family. I had to leave my family, country, everything, and I moved to India. But by the grace of His Holiness, the great 14th Dalai Lama, we received food, shelter, education, everything. And now there are thousands and thousands of Tibetans like me who are all over the world trying their level best to do the best they can to preserve Tibetan culture and identity, because Tibetan culture is in great danger. So if people like us will not initiate programs like this, Tibet will not be on the globe. So that's a very simple and humble attempt here. The instrument that we are playing now is called Dranyan. Dra means sound, Nyen means melodious. I hope it will sound the same. And we call this as the traditional Tibetan instrument. And the dress that we are wearing, we call those chupa, hunju. So these are all Tibetan dress. And my kids here, we are 9 of us. We have 10 actually, but one couldn't make it today. All of them are wonderful students, and I'm so very proud to be a part of their life and to be sharing what I know. So tonight, we will be sharing a song called Puyi Samling Gumba. It is a very traditional traditional Tibetan folk song. And it talks about the beauty of the high mountains, then the middle and the low. And it also relates those to our life, like who is the higher lama or guru, then the parents, then the siblings. So Puyi Samling Gomba is what we will play tonight. I hope you will all enjoy. Can we do Lareso? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Ready? Or do we go this way, Mary? This way? Okay. Yeah, Kesha? Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Mary.
Thank you, Migmar and students. Vermont Folklife and some of our staff were lucky enough to be invited to the Losar celebration this winter, which is the Tibetan New Year, the Lunar New Year. And the thing that was so amazing to see was, later in the evening after all the food and speeches and celebrations, it was a dance party. And these dances were being done in two big circles. And the inner circle was all Mi'kmaq students. It was all the young people, and all the adults were around the outside trying to keep up, and it was just wonderful. So that's what we're going for. Mark, are you going to introduce the next? Okay. Lots of moving parts. Yeah. So we have some. Oh, this is the next group of fiddleheads coming up with Oliver Scanlon doing double duty.
All right, thank you, Mary. So this is Fiddleheads Chapter 2. The two Fiddleheads groups are related, of course, but this group is designed in such a way that we do residencies, so that there's a residency for a couple of months, sometimes 3 months. But before that, we identify a performance that they are preparing for, that they're going to learn tunes for. So in this case, this was the performance that was targeted. And Oliver Scanlon, who is doing sound as well as leading this group, he led the residency, taught the group the tunes, and rehearsed with them for 3 sessions at the Vermont Violins in south of Burlington, which happens to be where Oliver works as well. So he was probably working and teaching and doing sound and all of those things together, which he's doing tonight. And all of these folks signed up to prepare for this performance. And the mics aren't on because I haven't turned them on yet. I'll go back and do that, Oliver.
We have a helper to help
all right,
us
great.
with
Thanks,
that
Julia.
too.
Yep. And they've learned a few tunes. I actually don't know which ones you're going to do, but you're going to get a chance to hear them shortly. Would you please welcome Fiddleheads with Oliver Scanlon as the residency leader.
Thank you very much, Mark. Thanks, everyone. We've got a couple of quick sets for you that we'll do. So we're going to start with a couple of polkas, and this is Jimmy Doyle's polka, and the second one is Jessica's polka. Thank you. Always getting the assist for the names. All right. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, go. Thank you. They sound great, and they look good too. So we've got one more. We've got one more thing. It's really fun to get to take my tech hat off for a moment, put my fiddle hat on, and lead a group up here. Everything's been really wonderful tonight. So thanks everyone for participating in tonight's show. It's been great. So we're gonna play a couple of old time tunes to close our part of the set. This is Old Chattanooga, and the second one is Grub Springs, which is, I think, one of my very favorite underrated beginning sort of lower intermediate tunes. So make note if you want to learn it later. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4.
All right, so that was Fiddleheads. Yay. I want to mention Ben, Anna, Molly, Avon, Malcolm, and Henry. Right? How about another hand for fiddleheads? Yeah, just go on out. It just occurred to me years ago, teaching fiddleheads, and I think Oliver was in the group at the time. So another passage, a passage of time and transition. It's really great. So next up, we're going to clear the stage a little bit. We're going to have some dancers, and a few folks gave me tickets, raffle tickets. We're getting close to the time that we're going to pour all of what's been purchased in the bucket and figure out who takes that chair home. I'm actually hoping that there's somebody here who wins, because then I don't have to take the chair back to my house. So good luck. Oliver will take it. So just a few more minutes.
Hello, everyone. I'm just going to do a quick introduction of this first dance. So we're going to start in hard shoes, which are percussive dance shoes. You've heard several iterations of that tonight already, but I have a couple of dancers with me from my advanced beginner class who are just learning heavy shoe dancing, percussive dancing. So the dance we're going to do for you includes a strategy that we use a lot in class, much the same way that Irish tunes are transmitted by ear. We also kind of use the same strategy for percussive dancing because it's so important that the sounds and the rhythms are accurate. So we're going to do a little bit of a call and response number. This is a treble jig, kind of a traditional dance. And as I'm talking to you, I'm going to make sure I can find my music because I'm driving from up here. We love dancing to live music when we can, but tonight we're using recorded music. So here is a treble jig number. If I could have my treble jig dancers come on out. We have Nell and Eliza Jane joining us to start here. My name, again, is Lisa Garrett. Here we go. Thank you. All right, this is a classic moment in every Irish dancing gig where I'm going to do a shoe change and talk to you at the same time. So we were just dancing in percussive shoes. They're not the kind of shoes you'd use for sean-nós or old-style percussive dancing, but they are used for more contemporary Irish dancing like you would see in river dance or an Irish dance competition, although those steps were pretty old. And we're now going to be changing into gillies, or soft shoes. So there's two kind of styles in more contemporary Irish dancing, and you're going to get to see both of them today. So I may need to set this somewhere so I can use, I'm quite talented, but I don't think I can put these on with one hand. I'm not quite that talented. So I might need to set my microphone down for a moment while I get these the rest of the way on. Let me see what I can do here. How are you doing with your shoe change back there? Good. Okay. Can you all still kind of hear me? I can just shout. Okay. So the next dance we're going to do is called a light jig. And musically, it's actually the same type of tune as the one that we just danced to, which in Irish dancing we call a treble jig, or a heavy jig. But you'll hear that the music is at a much different tempo. So even though it's the same type of tune, it is not the same type of dance as the shoes make evident. So for this next dance, we're going to have another member of our advanced beginner class join us as well. So we'll see Hannah in this dance also. Can I get a check-in from backstage over there? Are you in your new shoes, or do you still need more time? Okay, I'm not, but I'm glad you are. Okay, we're getting there up here. All right, so you two can come on out and get yourselves set up for the light jig, three hand. All right, you all set? Okay, so we're gonna hear a light jig, and we're gonna do some solo steps at the end, but the beginning you're gonna see some figure style choreography, both of which can be traditional and can also be very contemporary. So you're gonna get a little bit of each here in this light jig number. You ready? All right, so I'm going to bring all three of my dancers back out again. Once again, we've got Eliza Jane, Hannah, and Nell. And we are going to do one more number for you. This is a four-hand reel. We're going to start with a bit of figure choreography. So this is a very old dance that was recorded in the early 1900s. Many of these dances were in danger of dying out because Irish cultural arts were suppressed for a long time. And so this first piece of the dance you'll see is from a dance called the four-hand reel, which is a Cayley dance, a figure dance, that's danced by 4 people. And then we're going to transition into some reel steps to finish off our set here. Thank you all so much for coming out tonight, and to Young Tradition and Mark for having us. I was a Young Tradition kid myself, and it's a real pleasure to be able to bring my dance students back into the fold. All right, here's the four-hand reel.
All right, Gerlisa Garrett. I didn't get a chance to introduce them, so they did a pretty good job. Gerlisa is the director of the Garrett School of Irish Dance, I think primarily in the Montpelier area. Yeah. And yes, and she'll be here for a bit if you want to talk to her about what she does. One of the things we like to see as a result of this is folks making connections. Maybe you're interested in Irish dance or Tibetan dramian or old-time fiddle or something, and you get to meet some of the teachers who are out there doing that, so that really helps. I'm going to turn this back over to Mary Wesley. Just wanted to make sure I mentioned Gerlisa and our great students. How about one more hand for them?
Thanks, Mark, and welcome to this family band. Do you guys have a band name? Okay, how about the awesome band from across the border on their Burlington vacation? No, you shouldn't. You should find someone else to choose a band name. This is not going well. TABF. Okay, we'll work on it. We'll workshop it. It's good. This is Nicholas and Milan and Zoe and Owen, and this is their wonderful family band. you know, friends of mine for years who I haven't seen in a long time, and also friends of Young Tradition Vermont. Nicholas has taught at Trad Camp and Fiddleheads and many things, and so we're so happy to have the crew here with us tonight. And take it away. Are you guys feeling ready to go?
Awesome. Yeah,
Okay.
we're going to play one big medley for you guys. And starting off with, we heard a tune from O'Carolyn, She Big She More, a little while ago. We're going to play another O'Carolyn tune, Eleanor Plunkett, which the name doesn't sound that beautiful. Well, it depends. Eleanor Plunkett, it has a certain charm, but I think it's actually the most beautiful melody ever written. I'm willing to go out on a limb and say that. So if after hearing it you'd like to contest that with me, come and talk to me. So we're going to start with that beautiful old Irish tune, Eleanor Plunkett, and we'll go into a few more. And maybe I'll just, before we start, introduce, we have Zoe here on the flutes and whistle, and Owen on the violin, and Milan on the double bass.
Thank you.
Okay, you guys really got to get into band names so we can make t-shirts and stuff. Like, this needs to happen. A big hand for the family band, Nicholas, Zoe, Owen, Milen. All right. And next up, we have the Youth Commission taking the stage. Come on out, friends. And since I still am allowed to have the microphone, I think this is the last group that I'm introducing. And so I'm just going to acknowledge that it was a year ago today that we made the announcement that Young Tradition Vermont, I'm going to flip that we at Vermont Folklife got to have the great honor of having Young Tradition Vermont join our group of programs and to continue the work that our two organizations have been doing together for many years. And we especially need to thank Mark Sustick, who's, of course, doing many, many things right now, but of course, none of this would be here without the hard work and dedication and vision and inspiration of Mark and the many people who have made Young Tradition Vermont what it is. So we're so honored to be continuing the mission of this organization at Vermont Folklife and continuing to create opportunities for young people to continue to learn and share and be inspired by all the traditions out there. So thank you, Mark. And here's the YTV Youth Commission. Hi, friends. They've been, just a little bit busy this weekend also. They're out doing performances out in the world over the weekend, but here they are gathered again. They've been working together for a year under the fearless leadership of Fiona Stoll here. How are you all feeling here at the...
Fearless, sometimes chaotic.
Okay. Well, we're so glad you're here. The Youth Commission.
We're gonna start off this set with, I think, one of our favorite tunes in our collective set. It's called Mayfly, and we got to learn it from Corner House when they were coming through. We had a really fun workshop with them, and they taught us this really cool tune. It's written by their mandolin player, Ethan Satiowan, and we love it. We hope you do too. Ready? 1, 2, 3.
this next tune is one we learned in a workshop with the Watkins family, Sarah and Sean Watkins. And I'm a huge fan of theirs, so when we had the opportunity to have this workshop, I was so starstruck. It was a little crazy. I couldn't talk to them. I was so scared and awe. But it was a little intense. But they're amazing, and we learned this awesome tune from them. This song called River of Jordan, and it's a Southern gospel tune.
To the river of Jordan, our Savior went one day, and we read that John the Baptist met him there. And when John baptized Jesus in Jordan's rushing waters, the mighty power of God filled the air.
I'm going down
to the river of Jordan,
jump right in
the rushing waters.
I'm going down.
To the river of Jordan, let the cool waters cleanse my soul.
Right down
to the river of Jordan,
jumped right in
the rushing waters. He dipped himself in the river of Jordan, and the cool waters made him whole. The river of Jordan is many miles away, but its rushing waters I may never see. So I'll find myself an altar in an old-fashioned church, and the river of Jordan that will be.
I'm going down
to the river of Jordan,
gonna jump right in
the rushing waters.
I'm going down
to the river of Jordan, let the cool waters cleanse my soul.
I'm going down
to the river of Jordan,
gonna jump right in
the rushing waters.
I'm going down
to the river of Jordan, till the cool waters cleanse my soul.
So, like probably a decent number of you, I was really close with Pete Sutherland. He was my teacher and mentor and just friend. He passed away, I guess, last year. But anyways, last summer, he was teaching all his banjo students this tune because he thought it was like just a really good tune to know if you're a banjo player. It's a blast. And when Fiona approached me to be part of the youth commission, she wanted people to bring a set. And I was like, oh, I want to bring this tune, Banjo Tramp. And I asked Pete, is that like enough? And he was like, not really. Let me teach you another one. And so he taught me this great old time tune called Sally in the Garden to go before it. Yeah, hope you enjoy.
you. And now we're going to be joined by the touring group.
Yes, just what I was going to say. That's great. So we're going to get the touring group out here. I think we have to move the piano, Oliver, or anybody else involved, and before we get the whole group out here. But let's get the group up. So we're just going to hold off here. So we've got a couple of business things to take care of here. One of which is this is the last performance, the last set by the 2022-2023 touring group. They've been starting with recruitment and auditions last summer. They started rehearsals in the fall, started performing at the end of December, and then just 2 weeks ago were in Cape Breton doing the tour they've been working on all year. So they've had quite the year. It's been a fantastic year. Dominique Dodge and Andrea Beaton were the adult artist leaders. Yes. Hadley Stockwell, and raise your hand, Hadley. Is she up here? No, well, yeah, okay. Well, Hadley Stockwell and Owen Kennedy, who is up here, were the youth artist leaders. And there were some great adults involved. I couldn't go. It was like a really difficult thing for me, but something came up that turned out that I couldn't go. But there were some great adult leaders. I see Jen up here. Angela's probably here. Christina, Keegan, Walter. Who's the bus driver? Walter? Yeah, Walter. So anyway, lots of things made it happen. One of the things was raising money. And so there's a raffle. I don't know if you can see the chair over there, but there's this rocking chair that we've been raffling off. And tonight, somebody at least gets picked to take it home. I hope somebody who's here gets to take it home, because otherwise I've got to take it home again. So Eliza Jane and Hannah said they'd help me out with this. Can you come on up? I don't know if you can see the stairs. Just come, yeah, this is good. And just stand right here. I think you can go on in there. Whoops. Did somebody, where's the bucket? Oh, there it is. Okay, so I found the bucket. It looked like it was empty, but it's not. All right, so I think, Hannah, you were going to stir this up and just shake it and put your hand in there and stir it up like it's apple pie or something, or ice cream, and right? Your hands won't get sticky, I promise. All right, and then Eliza Jane is going to pick one without looking. Okay? No, I'm sorry. Linda Sparks. Linda Sparks. Somebody knows Linda Sparks? Is Linda Sparks here? Oh, great. Okay, so see me afterwards, and we'll talk about it. Eliza Jane, Hannah, a big hand for them. Thanks for picking. All right, you can go down. Thank you. Okay, as I said, this is the last performance by the Young Tradition touring group. It's always a combination of sadness and joy to see a year come to the end. It's a lot of work. It takes a lot of resources and a lot of people putting their effort into it. And everybody you see up here and others were very much a part of that. The Arrogee set is going to be part of this, right? Okay. So the Arrogee set, there are some alumni here, at least one that I saw confirmed, and there were some others that said that they were going to come. You should come up when it's time to do the Arrogee set. And you know who you are. Okay. So we're just about ready to go. Does anybody have any questions about the touring group? Do any touring group members have questions about the touring group? Why? How? Say it again. Yeah, what is it? Yeah, so the question is, do the touring group get to meet each other year to year or in follow-up years? And Yeah, cross-fertilization. It happens to us in some sense. We always try to do the Aragi set because every group has learned that. So everyone gets to play that together at the end. So that's one direction in that way. And then a big part of the touring group has been, I say has been because I've been involved in doing it for a number of years. This would be I think the 12th or the 13th trip that I've helped organize through Young Tradition Vermont, the 10th for the touring group. But the concept is that we go places and then those people come and visit us. So the interaction happens there in terms of the people we visited and then helping organize things here. We might do a concert like here at City Hall and share the evening with a group from England or Japan or something. So that happens. So it's a good question, and it's sort of an instigation to do even more of that. I hope that helped. All right, I think we're ready, right? So the 2022 Young Tradition Touring Group, there you go.
Okay, this thing says it's on. What we're going to do next is we're going to sing a song that was adapted and written by Pete Sutherland, who Emmett said a few words about just now, and whose presence has been sorely missed throughout this entire festival. And this was a song that Dominique Dodge, one of our artist leaders who can't be here today, who is a lovely human being, asked him, what would you like the group to do this year since you can't be there for us before he passed? And he said this song. So it's, the story of the song is about I'm sorry, my voice is a little dead right now, but a volcano that erupted in Indonesia, thank you, Ari, that caused the global climate of the world to shift and basically caused a worldwide cooling for many years, and in the early 1800s. And the summers were so cold that even in a place like Vermont, which is very far away from Indonesia, no crops could grow. And the story of the song is about people or one man in particular, giving away food to people who were unable to grow it for themselves and were starving, which I think is a very poignant message, obviously. And since, Pete was such an important person to this group and to this organization, I'd just, like to take the time to acknowledge the influence he had on all of us. And I know he changed my life for the better in a way that is pretty drastic. I'm still in music because I came to this group and met Pete. And that's my personal story, but I don't think that there are I think there are a lot of stories like that out there about Pete. And he was a very special person to me and to everyone else in this group. And I know I'm glad I got to know him, and I think everyone else here is grateful for the same thing. So we're going to sing his song for you now.
Time of the sorrowful famine year, when crops were scanty and bread was dear, the good squires buy my grain, that they who are hungry may come and take their ample share for the giver's sake. And the summer winds blew with an icy breath in 1800 and froze to death. And the summer winds blew with an icy breath in 1800 and froze to death. Now that good man to his rest has gone, but his fame still lingers in the golden corn. And every year when his ripening grain, that grand old story is told again. How the summer winds blew with an icy breath in 1800 and froze to death. How the summer winds blew with an icy breath in 1800 and froze to death.
Okay, well, can you hear me okay? We've come to our final set. We're going to be playing the Erigi set for you, which has been played at the back of every single YTV concert, which we insisted on this tour. It almost didn't happen. But it's comprised of 3 tunes, starting off with The Grey Owl, which is a traditional Métis tune, and then goes into On the Morgan Deck, which is written by Oliver Scanlon, who's somewhere back here. I don't know where. Draw attention to yourself. Yay, Oliver. And then we'll finish off with Road to Erigi, which is written by Adam Sutherland. We're so grateful to the city of Burlington just for hosting us here. We had some good pizza earlier today. I just want to take a second to celebrate Fern, Grace, Owen, Hadley, and also shameless plug for myself, because we're all seniors, or we're all moving on from the group this year, and we just are so grateful for everything that the group has provided. And if you are interested in being part of YTV, go for it. You won't regret it. It's the best choice that you can make. Without further ado, the Young Tradition Vermont Touring Group.
I just want to point, this is Mark, I just want to point out we have a whole group of alums back here who have been in the group in the past, and they're going to play along as best they can remember, right? It's drilled in, so I'm sure they can do it. All yours. Young Tradition Touring Group. They don't do encores. Partly because our agreement is to use the space until 9 and be completely out by 9:30. So if you can help get us in that direction, that would be great. Pick up after yourself, etc. Whoever said that they know the person who won the ticket, I'd like to talk to them. Won the chair. I'd like to talk to them. There's a session across the street, and Kaylee and I need to go over and open that up. So maybe we'll see you over there. But if you want to chat and talk and play tunes, you got to do it over at the Flynn.